Maya is sitting across from a bank employee. The desk is clean and white. There is a small plant in the corner. The employee is asking questions: name, address, phone number, type of account. Maya answers each one clearly, without stopping, without translating anything in her head first. Checking account, please. And I have my ID and my proof of address here. The employee types. She asks one more question. Maya does not understand the last word. She does not nod and pretend. She says, "Sorry, can you say that again?" The employee repeats it. Maya understands. She answers. The employee prints a form. Maya signs it. She walks out of the bank with a new account number on a small piece of paper. The Los Angeles sun is bright and warm on her face. She puts the paper carefully in her bag. Then she keeps walking. Something happened before this moment. The paper in her bag is not just a bank account. It is the end of a longer story. 8 months ago, Maya stood outside the same bank, same building, same glass door. She looked at the door for 2 minutes. Then she walked away. She went to the cafe across the street. She ordered coffee by pointing at the menu. She sat alone for 1 hour. Then she went home. She had lived in Los Angeles for 16 months. She had studied English for 6 years before that, in school in Vietnam, then in a language center, then with apps on her phone. Every evening before sleeping, she knew grammar. She knew vocabulary. She could read an English article and understand most of it. But the bank door was glass, and through the glass she could see people sitting at desks, talking, asking questions, waiting for answers. Real English, fast English, English that did not wait for her to be ready. So she walked away. She asked her coworker Lisa to help her open the account instead. Lisa was kind. She said yes, but Lisa was busy and the appointment never happened. 2 months passed. Maya still had no bank account. She was still paying for everything in cash. She was still walking past the glass door and not going in. The thought was always the same. She had carried it since the first day she arrived in Los Angeles. My English is not good enough yet. When it is better, I will speak. It felt like patience. It was not patience. It was her mouth waiting for a permission that was never going to arrive on its own. Her brain had studied English for 6 years, but her mouth had practiced almost nothing. Her brain went to school every day. Her mouth sat on the sofa. She did not know yet that these were two different things, that knowing English and speaking English are trained separately, that the mouth is a muscle, and a muscle that never moves does not get stronger by watching other muscles work. In the 10th month, her employer changed the payroll system. Every employee needed a bank account to receive their salary. Direct deposit only. No more cash payments. The deadline was 3 weeks away. Maya read the email 3 times. She looked at her phone. She thought about asking Lisa again. Lisa was on holiday for 2 weeks. She thought about asking another coworker. Then she stopped thinking about other people. 3 weeks, a bank account, her salary. The door was still glass, but now there was a date on it. The night before, Maya sat at her kitchen table. She did not study grammar. She did not open an app. She wrote 4 sentences on a piece of paper. I want to open a checking account. My name is Maya Tran. Here is my ID. Here is my proof of address. She read them out loud, alone, in her kitchen. Her voice was quiet at first, too careful, too slow. She said them again, a little louder, then again. By the fourth time, they felt like hers. The next morning, she walked to the bank. She pushed the glass door open. She waited in line. Her hands were cold. She pressed them flat against her legs. When it was her turn, she sat down. The employee smiled and asked how she could help. Maya looked at the desk, not at the employee's face, just for 1 second, and then she looked up and opened her mouth. I want to open a checking account, please. The employee nodded and asked for her ID. Maya gave it. The employee asked another question, something about her address. 2 words Maya did not catch. She felt the old feeling begin, the warm face, the half second, where she could nod and pretend. She did not pretend. Sorry, can you say again? More slowly, please. The employee repeated the question. Maya understood. She answered. The conversation continued. It was not fast. It was not perfect, but it moved forward, and nothing broke. Afterward, sitting in the cafe across the street with her coffee, Maya thought about something small. The employee had not slowed down because of her accent. She had slowed down because Maya asked to her too. And when Maya asked, clearly, simply, without apologizing too much, the employee just did it. No impatience, no face, just the repeated sentence, slower, and then the conversation continued. Maya had expected her mouth to be the problem. It was not. Her mouth just needed one instruction, open, and everything followed. Her brain found the words. Her voice carried them. The employee received them. That was all speaking was. Her mouth opening. Everything else came after. She did not join a speaking class. She did not find a language partner. She started smaller than that, and she started alone. Every morning, before leaving her apartment, she said 5 sentences out loud. What she was doing, what she could see, what she was going to do that day. Simple, true, in English, out loud. I am making coffee. The window is open. Today, I go to work at 9. The weather is warm. Her mouth woke up in English before the day began. By the time she was on the bus, her mouth was already warm, already moving. It's ready. At work, she started describing small things in English under her breath. In the supermarket, she read the labels out loud, quietly, to herself. In the shower, she narrated what she was doing like a very small radio show for nobody. She made mistakes every day. She left most of them behind her like rooms she had already walked through. She corrected the ones she noticed. She kept going. Once a week, she practiced shadowing with a short podcast, listened to one sentence, paused, repeated it, not to understand the words, to feel the rhythm, to let English sounds become familiar in her mouth the way a song becomes familiar after you hear it many times. Her mouth was learning what her brain already knew. Slowly, they were becoming the same thing. Maya is walking down the street now. The bank account paper is in her bag. The sun is on her face. She passes the cafe where she sat for 1 hour 8 months ago, after walking away from the glass door. She does not go in. She keeps walking. She's not fluent. She knows this. She still reaches for the words that are not there. She still asks people to repeat themselves. She still hears her accent and sometimes wishes it sounded different. But her mouth is open now. Every day, before she's ready, before the sentence is perfect, before her brain gives her permission. She learned that her brain was never going to give that permission. The permission only comes from the mouth itself, from opening it, from making the sound, from starting the sentence and trusting that the rest will follow. Her brain had been to school for 6 years. Her mouth needed one morning in a bank, and it turned it out that was always enough to begin. Hi everyone, I am Nadir. I hope you liked the story and understood that training your mouth to speak in English every day is very important. So, see you next video. Bye.